even by my standards, what I'm about to do, borderline insane. All right, I'm up here at the Bell Mountain Trailhead. I have done it once, failed to do it once, and given it another shot. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's 6 miles up to the summit or the campgrounds, whatever. And I plan on hammock camping. There is a slight chance of rain, so I will need my tarp. I just have to remember to rein in my enthusiasm and not try to sprint up the mountain this time. Maybe. Let's see how I do with this trail crossing. On the other side of that road is the trail. It is taking an inordinate amount of willpower to go slow. I haven't got very far, but I think I'm feeling a lot better than I would if I hadn't been trying to remind myself with every step to go slow, because I am walking up a mountain and I do have 5 or 6 hours to go 6 miles. So 1 mile an hour is a fully acceptable pace. A half mile an hour might not get me where I want to go. Now the parking lot, that was interesting. I'd been riding down here the whole 2 hours thinking there's not going to be anybody in that parking lot, because there are no people as crazy as myself to be coming up a mountain in 85 plus degree heat to backpack. But there were 4 vehicles when I pulled in, and as I was getting ready, packing all my stuff in all the right places, there was a very angry and bickering couple, or so it seemed, came back to their car. I tried not to listen in, but they did not seem happy. Of course, they had just probably hiked a 11.5 mile loop with a little bitty puppy. So that's bound to have been stressful. And the heat makes everything a little bit more aggravating. Yeah. So it's completely understandable. I'll let you know if I make it past the point I had to turn around last time. That's just awesome. All right, so I haven't come very far. This is pretty close to where I made myself turn around last time. And I'm not having to sit down, but I am. Trying to think about this strategically. And I'm going very slow. But I've already got double my stairs goal, which I think is 10 flights of stairs. So I've gone the equivalent of 20 flights of stairs already. Probably haven't even made it a mile. So I'm going to sit down for a little bit, take a drink of water, and then hit the trail again. So hopefully doing that and keeping my breathing and heart rate under a little bit of control will get me up the first big hill onto the relatively level ground. And I think from there, I should be fine. There's another hard hill right before the campsite, but I think that should be good. I'm just hoping that those 3 vehicles don't represent 3 campers or 3 bunches of campers. And maybe, just maybe, the prime spot is still open. Not holding much hope for that, but I'll keep a little bit. All right, I think that's it. That's the rock upon which I made the decision to turn back last time. Because I'd already been forced to sit down like 4 or 5 times. And my knees were jelly. Legs were jelly. Anyway. This time, I'm reminding myself repeatedly that I can't walk my normal, regular pace and expect to get all the way up this deceptively steep incline. And it is deceptive. Don't look bad. Don't look bad at all. But it's definitely giving the legs a workout. So I'm trying my best to manage my pace, manage my breathing. And I'm going to take more breaks than even I think I should. Breaks where I can sit down on a rock. And take this pack weight off my shoulder. I didn't even weigh it before I left, but we can assume 40 pounds. There I am, going faster than I need to. All right, slowing down again. This is the hard part. Making myself respect the hill. I got to remember to respect the mountain. Yep. Keeping on, keeping on. Respecting the mountain has its rewards. Very nice. Very, very nice. Got 30 flights of stairs. Went on a little ways and did a little rest. Did see some water. Not really collectible amount of water, but does give me hope that there's some water sources I'll be able to utilize, because I am burning through it. And here's some hikers coming down the mountain, so hopefully less chance of campsites being taken. Well, this is apparently a well photographed place to stop, so I'll do this and this. So on my first successful hike up this mountain to camp, stopped at this location to take our packs off, make adjustments, all kinds of stuff like that. Rest my chubby butt. But this time, pretty sure I'm just hiking on through, because I don't want to be in the direct sun any longer than absolutely necessary. So I am sure I am sweaty enough. And that just broke off at the base. Probably because of that nail through it. Very much against nailing things to trees these days. You know, because it kills them. So yeah, anxious to get back to the shaded portion. Whew. There were 3 hikers in that group that passed me going down. They seemed to be completely surprised that someone was hiking on the 4th of July, even though they were hiking on the 4th of July. Weird what surprises people. Yes, I just finished talking about how I'd hit level ground, got past the uphill, and picked my pace up and all that good stuff. I hit my daily steps goal right after I hit 40 flights of stairs, and right after I finished that little spiel about picking up the pace and being on a level area. I hit an uphill. But look at these suckers. They are there drinking my sweat. How rude is that? Rude. All right. And here we are at a decision point. Bell Mountain or Ozark Trail. Going Bell Mountain. Kind of not the decision point I thought it was, actually. Forgotten about this one. Oh. Okay, so that decision point. I had somehow lost, or my audio receiver had got unplugged. But unlike last time, I now have it tethered. So yeah, I just plugged it back in. Mic's still there. Now, while that was fortunate, unfortunately, when I started my GPS tracker, it worked for 76 feet and then quit. And I just found out. So I have no idea how far I've come, how far I've got to go, any of that, which is highly annoying, along with the bugs. The bugs are highly annoying. Not Nat Hat annoying just yet. So it's only like one or two flitting around at a time, not a horde. So yeah, not putting that mesh on my head yet. But it's getting kind of dark. It's only 2:30. Am I the only one who kicks potentially hazardous crap out of the trail as I walk it? Seems that way, because I know there's been other people up this way, and there's a ton of hazardous crap in the trail. Anyway, moving on. I'm hoping to get that water source pretty soon. Refill my water, change it out, have a snack, all that good stuff. Hopefully that's coming up soon, but I have no way to know, do I? Well, that ain't gonna move. Guess I will. So, figured out I'm about 2.4 miles into the trip. Got a water source coming up in 0.6 miles or 1.1 miles. Depends on which way I go at the split. I know if I go right, there's a water source real close. I also know if I go right, there's a big hill to get up to the campsites. If I go left, I've not gone that way before, but a little ways further, it's a probable water source, and it is a creek. So it will be flowing. But I also knew that it rained a little bit and clouds are moving in. So I'm probably not going to be at a loss for water here shortly. But yeah, I was pretty exhausted. So I sat down. Probably going to stay here a little bit longer, get up and push on to the water source. I'm leaning toward trying for the running water. Think I'll do that. See you on down the trail. So when I say I've been sweating quite a bit, I just got up. My little sitting bed is soaked. Don't know if this guy had been sitting there the whole time or if he just came by. But I suspect he'd been sitting there the whole time. Could be my Jiminy Cricket. Because I was feeling a little bit of despair there about being able to go on and all that good stuff. But it was a temporary feeling. I just listened to the Charles DeLint book, The Little Country. And one of the pieces, or one of the sections that I heard today was girl was getting real depressed because nobody else was remembering all the magical stuff that had happened. And she heard the shadows laughing at her. And it was like, yeah, go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and laugh. You won. And then, right as she said that, it dawned on her that, well, the only way they win is if she gives up. And she didn't give up. And so that came back to me, and I didn't give up. But I highly recommend Charles DeLint as an author and The Little Country. May actually be making a t-shirt based on that. So y'all check shop.bobbycron.com/HHGH. I think that's all capitalized. Maybe not. Anyway, I'll put a link as usual in the description. But may link to the specific shirt I create based on that. I was thinking of it on the way here. And I think it may be even more pertinent now. May have to include don't give up in there. So onward, and See if I can make it to that flowing water source. Well, there's a split, the Bell Mountain Loop. I'm gonna go that way right after I get some water. Yep. Freaking hate gnats. Hate gnat hats. But I hate gnats more. Haven't come this way before. Well, that's pretty cool. It's kind of looked like the trail was gonna disappear into green, but it all worked out. It is getting very lush on the sides, and in the middle, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop here shortly and try and find out where that creek is, if I don't see it here shortly. And the thunder's rolling. If necessary, I'll just throw up the tarp and camp somewhere over here. But I'd rather be at the top. Oh, wee. Well, that was fun. That was definitely fun. So walking down the trail, I heard it coming. Torrential freaking downpour. I quickly got my tarp out and just huddled under it. I mean, just pulled it out, put it over myself in my backpack, and as the rain lessened just a little bit, I got the tarp up, and pretty much as soon as I put the last stake in, it quit raining. Yep. I was considering taking it down and getting back on the trail when it started sprinkling again. So yeah, there's a light sprinkle now, so not as irritated as I was when it just completely stopped raining. That would have been because this was not easy to get up with the pouring rain. So I don't know if I'm camping here tonight or what. So I'm going to try and check the weather, see if I can see a radar or something, tell if I need to camp here. But yeah, this was not the 30% chance that they said. Maybe it was, I don't know. But that 30% definitely hit to 100 real quick. If it could rain some more, I could fill my water stuff and filter it here. But the creek is 0.3 miles from here, and it's going to be flowing, pretty sure. So I'm going to be able to restock on water if the rain stops enough for me to get back on trail and get to the top. But yeah, that was fun. Type 2 fun. Can definitely laugh about it now. Man, I wish somebody had got a video of me. I was huddled up against that tree, the tarp laying all around me, squatting down, put my rain cover from the tarp, from the backpack over the backpack, put my phone in there. So it had like 2 or 3 layers of protection, and went to stringing my tarp up, which is pretty impressive considering that I have lost my tarp string. So I brought some stuff along to make one. And I had to do that pretty dang quick. Those, I'm very, very happy the prusik knots are pretty easy. Because I made the tarp up where it's pretty dependent on the prusik knots. I don't know if you can see up there that it is tied to the support rope with a prusik knot and carabinered on. And yeah, it's the rain's petering out. I'm going to take a look at radar and see if I can get on down the trail here shortly. Fun. All right, back on the trail again. Holy mercy. This is yep. It's very interesting. My pack feels heavier. My shoes are sloshing. And every gnat within 500 miles has been woken up by the rain. So this is going to be an interesting rest of the trip. I actually don't know how far it is. The only thing I know is 0.3 miles to where there should be some water. And I do need to get a bag of water to filter, fill my bottle up. I don't know if I need to get another thing of water to filter. That might be a little extra heavy to carry, but I might, depending on how not far it is. I don't know, it may be a mile or so to the top. Maybe 3 miles. I don't know. I'll see when I get there. Whew. One of my bracelets just fell off. I gotta get that. I do not like this. I'm going down. Very much down. Which means that to get to the top, I'm gonna have to go up. I'm gonna have to go very much up. And I do not like that idea at all. I know the other side, there's a steep uphill right at the last of it, the last quarter mile, half mile. But this going down, I do not like. I'll be approaching from the other side. The side other than what I've done before. But I really don't know what to expect. And there are blowdowns and crap across the trail. And there's some that look like they've been there for a while and just nobody's cleared them. And they've got trails going around them. I don't know. This direction may have been a poor decision. I don't know. The water source on the other side is a standing pond. So not really what I wanted to do. The good news is, though, it is no longer hot. So that's looks like somebody just decided to quit right there. Well, I see the creek, so hopefully I'll be getting some water here soon. The creek is a little underwhelming. But it's water. It's a source of flowing water, and that pool is pretty decent. So, gonna get me some water. Turns out the flow on my water filter is not actually performing very well. So I messed around with it for a little bit and wound up deciding something a little odd. I guess I'm just going to carry it. Well, got it hanging up there temporarily. So I got my pack on and gonna find a place to hang it or carry it while I hike up to the top. Yeah, this is getting genuinely crappy. Yeah, blowdowns. Really close brush. And of course it clears up a good bit. Right as I'm telling you how suck it is. Oh. Yeah, this has been, dang, very fun. Spider on my arm. Wonder how far it is to the top. So I checked back there, just a little bit. 1.4 miles when I checked to the summit. And here's the creek again. So I don't think I really had to worry about water as much as I'd been led to believe. Maybe a mile from any good campsite, and without a backpack, just water. Ain't too bad. But I may stop before then and eat me something, because I haven't had lunch yet. Here may be as good a place as any. So I sat here and ate, rested a little bit, eventually picked up my journey, and the trail, as you may could see from the other side there, was very overgrown. There was lots of moisture. There were fall downs. There were all kinds of stuff. So I just packed all of my equipment to try and keep it from getting wet, and eventually made it up to the top. So here's the journey from the bottom. All right, we're starting off at the trailhead and coming up that first big hill, and that took a little bit, weaving back and forth a little. Yes, the second big hill. Yeah, I was taking my time there. I think that's the first big rest I took. Almost quit. Headed on up. That's the loop split, I believe. That's where the rain hit. So it threw the tarp up there. Alright, and after that cleared out, stopped and got some water. And then surprisingly, followed the creek for a while. Crossed it a couple times actually. That's probably where I ate. And then not any video after that, because it was slow going. There was brush all over the place, and then we started that uphill. Finally made it to camp. Finally made it to camp. It is such a joy to wake up 20 minutes before you wanted to, at the insistence of a noisy bird. Well, I think it is just me up here. There's the moon. The sun's going to be coming up shortly. Oh, the sky is brightening up. There's that bird. This is just awesome. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Here comes the sun. There's supposed to be a 54% chance of rain this morning. But it is looking pretty good right now. So I'm going to have me breakfast. Not going to cook anything because all the fuel around here is probably soaked. And then I'm going to put on some wet socks and shoes, dry shirt and pants, or shorts, and proceed down the mountain. So I packed up, proceeded to go down the mountain, and that was a little bit easier than going up. Took me a little break there. Took me a longer break somewhere around in here. There we go. And decided, yeah, there we go. That's the long break. Had a little bit more breakfast. And then I started hopping on down the mountain and went the wrong way. Had to backtrack, cursing myself out the whole way. But I got back on track and finished the downhill. A little bit of an uphill there, then proceeded down. I was taking some breaks because it was getting to me on the way down. But I finally made it to the car. So I got to the car, exhausted. Took my backpack off, forgetting that I'd put my keys in the backpack. Closed the door, or closed the trunk, and all of the doors remained locked. So I had to sit out in the rain and wait for the auto service. Just as I was giving up hope and thinking about rocking my car back and forth for a little bit, somehow I heard the door unlock. And as I sat there trying to get my phone to charge, because the charger had water in it, the auto service rolled up and brought me some water. Much needed.
Started at dawn with a pack full of dreams. The trail looks so easy, or so it seems. 3 miles in and my boots start to bite. Spider web smacking me square in the side. That's when you have type 2 fun, sloshing through ankle deep mud, or having no shelter from the sun. Your big plan is a dud, but years from now you'll smile and say, remember that miserable day. That's type 2 fun, type 2 fun, when suffering's the only one. Gnats in a cloud round my sweating head, wishing I'd stayed home in my warm bed. The map says gentle slope, that's a lie. Straight up this wall beneath burning sky. That's when you have type 2 fun, sloshing through ankle deep mud, or having no shelter from the sun. Your big plan is a dud, but years from now you'll smile and say, remember that miserable day. That's type 2 fun, type 2 fun, when suffering's the only one. Rain clouds rolling in as I reach the peak. My tent's still packed, the future looks bleak. Lightning and thunder, I'm soaked to the bone, questioning why I ever left home. But sitting here now by my fireplace, I'm planning the next time I'll show my face on some godforsaken mountain trail, where everything's bound to go off the rails. Final, 'cause that's when you have type 2 fun, stories that can't be undone. The misery fades, but the glory runs through every tale that you've spun. 20 years later, you'll raise your cup to the day when we messed up. That's type 2 fun, type 2 fun. The best adventures are the rough ones. So here's to the trails that break your will. Here's to the rain and the impossible hill.